Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our weekly press conference with head coach Tom Arth. After a bye week, the Zips are back home this week. We host Kent State on Saturday, October 12th at InfoCision Stadium. Kickoff is at 3:30. It is our annual homecoming game, Hall of Fame game, and, of course, the Crystal Clinic Wagon Wheel Challenge against our rival. Coach, would you like to start with an opening statement?
Sure. Thanks, Kathy. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Really missed you guys last week. Sorry we didn't get together, but great to see everybody today. Appreciate y'all being here. It's a great week for us. It's an exciting week for us, for a lot of reasons. Just to be able to get back out there and know we got a game to look forward to this Saturday and to prepare for a game, but also, just the rivalry week and the excitement that comes along with that, and within the community, within our university, within our program. It's an exciting week to be a part of, and we're anxious for Saturday to come.
In your first year, how do you convey the importance of a rivalry game as a new coach here?
Well, I think, understanding, the history and the tradition of the game, I think is really important. It's obviously been a really, heavily contested game, very even, as you look at it over time. So I think, just understanding that and being here for the last 9 months now, whatever it's been. I don't know if there's been a time where I've talked to somebody in the community or an alum that hasn't mentioned this game and the significance of that. And I'm used to it. Growing up in Northeast Ohio and going to St. Ignatius, and certainly the Holy War with St. Ed's is big rivalry as you get in Northeast Ohio. John Carroll, BW, as a rivalry, and now to be a part of Akron, Kent. I think it's really special, really special for me to be a part of it. It means a lot to be here and to have that opportunity, and so I think our players, certainly understand what it is, and in a lot of ways, I'm going to be learning. I'm going to be learning, as I go, through this with just, what this type of rivalry, is about.
Can you give us a little overview of what you guys did during the week off there with no game?
Yeah, really, we had a great week, really, especially on Tuesday and Wednesday. Had a light workout on Monday, and came in, had great practice on Tuesday and Wednesday, practice again on Thursday. But Tuesday and Wednesday were outstanding. And, really just having an opportunity to almost go back into a training camp type of mentality, and really, not focusing on an opponent and preparation and all those things, but really focusing on, what you do, focusing on your fundamentals, your techniques, the things that we need to get better at. So it was great from that perspective. We were able to get some guys some rest who needed it. We were able to cut their reps down. In a way, we were able to limit the time that we were on the field and in the meeting room for our team, just in general, to kind of give everybody a refreshed feel. And also, we were able to get a lot of young guys, a lot of work. We were able to do a lot of different periods with the developmental guys in our program that aren't getting a chance to play a whole lot in games. So that's been, that was really positive. It was a really good week for us, and came back yesterday, got a short workout in, and got out on the field, got going a little bit, and then practiced today. So it's been a good week for us.
Coach, one question, one thing when you said BW and John Carroll, wasn't that the Golden Football? If I remember that, I remember
the
that.
The Cuyahoga Gold Bowl. Yes,
the Gold
we played
Bowl,
for the
yes.
Rock.
Have you had a chance to look at Kent State? They changed quarterbacks during the season. They opened with Barrett. Now they're starting with Crum. Have you had a chance to look at both their offense and their defense during this week off?
We have, definitely had a chance to get a good look, get a good look at the opponent, and I think that they're a really good football team. They're playing really well. I have to give a lot of credit to Coach Lewis and their staff. I have a lot of respect for them. Getting to know Sean over the last few months at, the different, conference events, seeing the way that he works and the way he recruits, and obviously, knowing, Tom Kaufman, their defensive coordinator, playing with him at John Carroll, working with him at Chattanooga. I know they're doing all the right things, and they're gonna get that program going. They have gotten that program going, and so they do a great job. They do a great job coaching them. They put their players in great position to be successful, and they have some talented guys out there that can really hurt you, that you got to be aware of. And I think that'll be the challenge. That'll be the challenge for us this week.
Coach, you mentioned after the UMass game there was a lot of enthusiasm in the locker room, a lot of guys stepping up, talking. Is that carried over now into practice, and is that a plus going into this game?
Yeah, I definitely think it is. I think that carried over, from post game. Certainly, I thought our locker room had the right mindset and the right demeanor, and that definitely carried over into our practice the following week, and need that to continue. And right now we got a good core of guys that are really stepping up from a leadership perspective, and really working really hard to get it right, and to the guys that take a lot of pride in their performance and in the performance of our team, and we need more guys to do that, and that's the challenge that we issued them this week is for everybody to step up, in their own way, and to be that that type of voice, and that type of bring that type of attitude and energy to our football team.
What's Cato's status for this week?
We're planning on him being available. Cato is a tough kid, and he's had a chance to really rest up quite a bit last week. Feels great. Has certainly progressed for us as we would have hoped this week, or excuse me, last week, and we're preparing him to be ready to play.
In the event that he doesn't play, who are you going to go with, or are you not even thinking it at this point?
Well, I think you're always preparing your team, and even you never know what's going to happen in the course of a game. Your backup quarterback's one play away from being in, and so our guys have to prepare, and I think right now it'll be it's just constantly a competition, and who performs the best, who has the best week of practice, and who understands the plan and can go out and execute, and give the team the best chance to be successful.
Did Zach Gibson impress you with his
Yeah.
relief work?
He absolutely did. I think he impressed everybody, and it's not that we didn't expect that from him. I mean, there's a reason why we brought Zach here, and we certainly feel that he's a very talented football player. But I think for any true freshman to go out in a competitive situation and to perform the way that he did, it was pretty exceptional. There were a lot of plays that he made, some great throws that we know he's capable of, but it was more just his poise, the way that he carried himself, his ability to get through his progressions, get to 4 and 5 in his progression, being able to check it down to his back, being able to slide and avoid in the pocket, keep his eyes downfield, make plays, and most importantly, like I talked to Zach about, is as a quarterback, your responsibility is to protect the football, and it's to make the people around you better. And I think we saw that, from Zach last week. I think that, the team really rallied around him, and he really inspired the group, and they played really well around him. And I think that that's an important quality that a quarterback needs to possess. And, we saw a glimpse of that in our past game.
How difficult is it? I mean, you've seen teams that have played no huddle and stuff, but Ken obviously really plays at a breakneck pace. How difficult is that to prepare for, whether you have 1 week or 2 weeks?
It is a challenge. It certainly is, and we try to prepare for that. All season long, we play a lot of teams that play up tempo style. We have the ability, to play, with some tempo and some pace, and So, every single day, we practice and we do tempo periods, and it's really all designed for our defense, to allow them to get used to playing with that speed, getting aligned as quickly as we can, getting the ball snapped as quickly as we can, to really teach our defense to beat the opponent back, to beat the offense back, get aligned. And I think, especially this week, what we have to do is do a great job of not, letting them get some big plays, because they do a great job of tempoing out of explosive plays and creating more explosive plays when they get teams on their heels. So what we got to do a great job of is keeping them off schedule. I think, and that's, really true any week, but I think it's, that much more important, against a team that likes to play with tempo, get them into some second and longs, force them into some third and longs, take them out of some of that stuff, where they're feeling good.
Coach, it's always important to get off to a quick start. That goes without saying, but considering the results so far, is that even more important Saturday, maybe especially from the guys' mental focus of, if things were not to start your way, maybe think, oh, here we go again?
Well, I think, and that's a big thing, from just a mental toughness standpoint. Anything that's happened in the past is really irrelevant, at this point. And we really have talked to our team a lot about that and educated them a lot on that, and, living in the moment. And the only thing that matters is what we do today, like what we do right now, this next play. And, understanding that and playing, each one of those opportunities, each rep at practice, each rep in the game, like it will determine the outcome of the game. It will determine our success. And, it's one thing to say that. It's another thing to have the ability to go out there and do that every single play. But that's certainly something that we've talked about. And, we've had some games where we've gotten off to great starts. We've had some games where we haven't gotten off to a great of a start, but we finished really well. And, and we've had some where we've kind of had a combination of both. And I think what's most important, obviously we'd love to get off to a great start. That goes without saying. But what's most important is that we play with a level of consistency throughout the game. And I think that's probably, that's been the most challenging thing, for us up to that point, because there's been times where we've played really well. We've done some really great things. There's also been some times where, we haven't. And I think, going forward, our job is to live in the moment and to really play, every play like it's the most important and the one that's going to define the outcome of the game.
Tom, I asked you a couple weeks ago about just the 0-3 start at Tennessee Chattanooga, your first year there, and you talked a lot about how you learned a lot about yourself as a person, as a coach. I guess I'm just curious, and now here at Akron, again, things haven't gone the way that you planned coming in. What have you sort of learned about yourself and about the program and about yourself as a coach and a person this time around?
Well, I think that, again, it's, that first year, in Chattanooga, that early part of the year was really tough, really tough. And you did find out a lot about yourself and how you're going to handle those situations. And I think a lot of what I learned, in those moments, and, certainly even coming into this opportunity at the University of Akron, I was able to do a lot of things a lot better than I did, in that first experience at Chattanooga, and in regards to building the foundation and really assuming nothing, coming in, and I think I'm continuing to see that, in myself and our coaching staff, just the way that we handle these situations, the way that we handle our team, every single day. And, again, the most important thing for us is that we go out there and that we play as well as that we can play. And as coaches, it's to put our players in position to do that. And we have to be driven by that, more than anything else. And, and for me, just the confidence I have in what we do and how we do it. Is really unwavering. And, there's no doubts in my mind about that. And, we are going to continue to improve. We're going to continue to get better. And, the results are going to come. So, I think just realizing that and being able to stay strong and stay focused through that has been really positive for me, and I think for our team. And I think in some ways, that's something that I did learn, in going through, the experience at Chattanooga, because you come back and you go through that, and it's the first time you've ever done that, the first time you've ever been in that type of situation. And you find yourself questioning and find yourself wondering, okay, well, is this, are we doing it right? Are we not doing it right? And, there are no doubts. There are no doubts at this point. There's things that we can always do better, and we're always looking for ways to do it better. There's no doubt about that, but the foundation of who we are, the philosophy that we build our team on, is 100% absolutely spot on, and it'll be the reason why, we ultimately experience, great success at the University of Akron.
Coach, you mentioned you're not familiar with the Akron-Kent State rivalry. There's a lot of guys on this team that aren't familiar with that rivalry either. Is there any plans to have maybe like John Lako or Alvin Davis talk to the team and explain how emotional this game's going to be? Or
yeah, there are. We haven't had a chance to talk with the team about it yet, but we're going to do something. We're going to do something nice for them tomorrow, and it'll be a good opportunity to learn a lot about what this rivalry means, and what this game means to our university.
Coach, did you during the week off really? You said, are you going to try and somehow keep the players fresh, not only this weekend, but through the rest of the season as we get into the MAC grind?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that, every coach, kind of has a plan as you go through the season, to really try to, keep your players healthy and keep your players fresh. I think for us, last week was important, to get some of that rest for our guys. This week, we got to go. We got to go. We're not at that point in the season yet where we, need to start talking about, hey, what are we cutting out of practice? We're not there as a program. We're not there, as a team yet to do that. But absolutely, I think it'd be foolish to say that, you can, kind of go through the season and not make any adjustments to, to your schedule and to, the amount of reps that your players are playing week in and week out, and expect them to go out there and perform at their highest level.
Because it's a rivalry game, how much more can it flip your season in a positive direction?
I don't know. I just think it's so important to us just as it is. I mean, take out who we're playing, take out the opponent, but just having an opportunity to play a team within our division, in the MAC is just it's such an important moment for us, and such a great opportunity for us. And I think that's really where a lot of the confidence needs to come from, is just understanding really we need to take all the experiences that we've gained these first 5 games. We need to take all the lessons that we've learned, and we need to, we really need to, to grow from that. But at the same time, we got to put it all behind us, and we got to realize that, we got to move forward in the right way. And, there's no better way to do that than, playing a conference game, against a rival. So, to your point, I think, absolutely. Absolutely. It's a really big opportunity for us. It's a really important moment for us as a team, and I think it's just made that much more special, with the type of game that it's going to be.